Guys, stop messing around in the group chat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new Luke and Lewis episode. We're back at it again, partially over Zoom, but that's okay. Luke, where are you?
I'm in Canberra this time. It's a real excitement of like the reveal of where I am in the country. I think I've been in a new place every week for the last month, and this is the least exciting place.
Yeah, well, you've been traveling the country while we're all stuck here just rotting, and every time we plan the episode, you're like, yeah, I don't have anything to talk about. You're literally traveling the country.
Yeah, but to like the worst places on repeat. Like the Gold Coast was sick, and then I went to Sydney, which they need to just admit that it's not good, right? I spent 2 weeks there.
Yes.
I really gave it a chance. It's objectively a shitty place. And then I left Sydney because COVID became a thing there. And the tour name On the Run has now become literal because I'm just fleeing every place after they get 4 cases. And then I just go to the next one. So now I'm in Canberra.
You're going to end up on the front page of the Herald Sun very soon.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm just bringing it everywhere. No, I'm usually like ahead of the virus. I'm just trying to like stay ahead of it. But no, I don't know what you want from me. I'm going between like places in New South Wales and then the ACT. Like you guys rotting is better than this. Now, Keelan got so offended because I came in the Zoom earlier and just started trashing
That would make me
Canberra.
very offended too if you did that.
Yeah, I did it all over the screen. He was a bit annoyed.
That would really upset me.
I know, it was disgusting. I had to clean it up. But then I started trashing Canberra. And he got so angry because he's like, man, you haven't even given it a chance. You haven't even been on one of those scooters yet.
Dude, both of us have been to Canberra more than you have.
You're making it
like... That's not true at all.
That's not true at all.
Yes, it is. How many times have you been to Canberra?
Probably 10 to 12.
All right, so whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Like
Did you forget that he leaves because his girlfriend lives there all the time? Did you just forget that?
No, I didn't forget that. I didn't know it was like 12 times. Guys,
you have been there twice in the last 4 years.
Look, dude, I think that Luke and I have just had like a pretty bad experience with Canberra, seeing as one of the times we were there, we were in Queanbeyan, we went to a servo, and then the next day someone at that servo was stabbed to death, and it was in the news. So
that's true.
Some might say that's not Canberra.
It's New South Wales.
It's Queanbeyan, but still.
Yeah, but I'm still staying. Like I was in the city yesterday, and then now I'm staying in a place called Belconnen. And I will admit, people in Canberra are going to be like, "Well, don't judge that." Like this place that I'm staying in, they haven't finished building it yet. It's just scaffolding. If scaffolding was a suburb, and everything's just under construction. Like you go to the Westfield, they're like, "It's got to be done in a minute." Like that's the vibe of this whole place. But then I went to the city, the other day. And
Canberra has a city?
Oh, dude, it looks like a post-apocalyptic society. And that's exactly how I remember it from the last 4 times I was here. It's so weird. Everything's so new, neat, modern. There's no rubbish anywhere. It's almost nice, but then it just creeps me out because there's no cars or people.
Well, I think whenever I go to Canberra, it reminds me how selfish politicians are because it's so nice, like the infrastructure and the roads and the lack of rubbish and everything about the place is so fucking nice. But there's often no one there because a lot of them are just politicians going in and out. So there's real busy periods and real quiet periods. And you get there and you're like, why doesn't the rest of the country look like this?
It's a lovely workplace for their, fly in, fly out sessions. But it's good. I stayed in a real like seedy old white person hotel the first night. And it was weird. Yeah, I didn't like it. I just knew like a lot of like MPs had fucked in that bed before. That's all I could think about when I was going to sleep.
Yeah.
I was like,
true. Barnaby Joyce has been doing a lot in there. He's probably there right now celebrating. He's now the Deputy Prime Minister.
So many hookers have been like plowed on taxpayer money in that room. It made me just uncomfortable. Getting a blue light over that would just make me not want to pay tax ever again.
yeah, absolutely.
It was, but it's good though. I don't know what you want from me because you've written Luke. I see you've got the whiteboard. See, they have the whiteboard in studio. I have the whiteboard virtually on my phone today, and you've just written Luke like I have anything good to say. I'm in the most boring place in the country.
We did sit down to plan the episode, and we were like, all right, we need a Luke story here. So Keelan, as a placeholder, goes Luke dash. And we're trying to fill that at the moment, and it's still empty.
Do you really want to know the most exciting thing that's happened to me? Because I know you don't, but I'll tell you.
Yeah. You go, then I'll go.
Meg and I were having some adult time. If Will Smith was here, he'd say we were getting jiggy with it, right?
Yeah.
Then there was just a crackhead screaming his mind off out the window for 30 minutes. It ruined... We were trying to kind of get the mood going, and then again, there's no end to this story. So that's what happened.
So no one finished and needed the story. Incredible.
Oh, I mean, the story finished because I finished, and that's, the story was I had to try and maintain an erection listening to a crackhead scream.
Okay, well, that's you know what? You know what, Luke? We should have left that blank. I agree with the whiteboard there.
Now, so I don't know.
Maybe we should pivot.
Yeah, and anyway. So that's the most exciting thing that's happened to me. Is that what you want to hear? Because you wrote down my name. You wanted me to bring content to the show after I already told you. I don't really know.
Well, I on the way in, I got here and I've noticed something that we'll talk about after this. But on the way in, I took the train and then I got an Uber from the station to here, and I really like giving bad Uber drivers like 5 stars, like catch and release. It really amuses me, like just send him on his way. This guy was the worst. But he also had a terrible time. He crashed into the curb pulling up here, like just slammed straight into it. Really high curb. Like he smashed into the curb. I hit my head on the roof. It was like a minor accident. And I just immediately thought, ow, 5 stars. That's pretty good. But then after he crashed into the curb, he then parked in like a loading zone next to where we are. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but our neighbor... He doesn't seem to have a job. The only thing he does is stand outside his place of work and scream at anyone who comes anywhere near the loading zone that isn't loading. It's crazy. I think Keelan has seen this before, but I get out of the car and then the Uber driver moves from where he dropped me off after smashing into the curb straight into the loading zone, gets out of the car to see if he's damaged his car, which he absolutely has. The guy... Our neighbor starts yelling at him, mate, like no mercy at all. He treats him like it's the 50th time this week that he's done it. He goes, mate, you can't park there. And the guy's like, dude, I've just crashed my car. And then the guy just goes, oh, so you can't drive or park. Move.
Oh, damn. That's a good story, Lewis. But did you come?
Briefly.
Oh, okay. Well, then equally as good story then.
I came in, I noticed that Ruben is limping.
Yeah.
You've been limping all day. What happened?
I think I broke my foot.
What do you mean?
Like just a slight fracture.
How?
I was playing futsal yesterday.
Oh, that is so Ruben. You would only ever injure yourself doing the lamest activities.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How is futsal lame?
Wait, Lewis, I tried to convince Ruben that futsal was lame for 5 hours on the way back from Wagga one day because we left early because he had to make it to a futsal game by a certain time. So I spent the whole car ride berating him about indoor soccer and why it wasn't cool. And so good luck. Like, unless you got 6 hours to spare, you can't win that argument.
I don't remember a single argument you made, Luke. That's how weak it was.
Bro.
Look, soccer itself is bordering on lame.
That's what I said. It's the word. Like, soccer, I'll give you that because it's outdoors. Indoor, you're doing like anything indoor, really, I don't respect. Anything that is an outdoor sport that you're playing on a basketball court.
Yeah, that is true.
You're playing an outdoor sport on a basketball court and then calling it exercise. It's embarrassing.
So reductive.
Go out there and get some sun. It's chilly. So,
what exercise did you do this week, Lewis?
Me?
Yeah.
I worked out. in my home gym, which is outside. So checkmate.
Actually
I
under
took an indoor activity outside. Makes it more tough.
We all know it's under a carport. Bad argument. But all right.
Well, partially outdoors. It's under a carport. No rules. No walls.
I was getting amongst the camaraderie, a competition, making friends, playing soccer, and you were working out like a loser by yourself.
Improving myself, competing against myself, becoming the best version of me that I can be, improving my fitness and my health while you're breaking your own foot on a basketball court pretending to play soccer.
Yeah. Well, one of those parts is true. I did break my foot. Yeah.
But what did you do?
I don't know, but I did get a yellow card as well.
So you kicked someone else.
I think I got the yellow card later. It was just sort of a.
Are you sure you don't have a concussion too? You can't remember the conversation that you had before the game that went for 5 hours, how you injured yourself or how you got a yellow card.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought initially it was my toe, but now the top of my foot's hurting and I need to go get an x-ray. So I guess we'll see.
That's bad.
It's not good, but I'm here today and I don't need to walk for work, so I thought I'd make it in. And I'm kind of a bit salty that no one said, "Hey, thanks for coming in today, Ruben. You put in a day's work, even though you got a broken foot." I would appreciate that.
Well, you did. I was going to say that until you said, "Look, my injury won't impact my work at all." So, why should I even acknowledge it? Because obviously it's not impacting anything. So it's no stress off your back.
All right, I see. I shot myself in the foot there. No pun intended. Luke, can I get maybe a thank you from you?
How hard is he limping, Lewis?
Immediately noticeable. So pretty big limp.
Is it on your? How did you drive in?
It's my right foot, so it's my accelerator foot, and so I just put a big boot on, and
I like to imagine that you just were going really slow the whole way. You couldn't get enough speed.
I can't if I had to brake in a hurry, that wouldn't be good.
Ruben was my Uber driver today. That's why I smashed into the curb.
I can give you some sympathy. I do feel sorry for you. I just want you to know that I don't respect the manner in which you broke it. But it's like Meg has just broken her arm up here on the Gold Coast. Meg, and
it's properly broken?
Yeah, she has a cast on now. I think it's a fracture and then maybe a ligament, but she still hasn't had an MRI because every time she books one in, we keep moving place. So she keeps having to cancel it because we keep fleeing every place we're in. But yeah, it's like I do have sympathy. Like I've been helping her open stuff, but at the end of the day, she hurt it drunk skateboarding. So there's only so little sympathy you can have. And futsal's almost on the same level playing field as intoxicated skateboarding.
No, I totally agree with that. No, actually, Ruben is right. I respect futsal less. They're not exactly on the same level. Hurting yourself getting, while skateboarding while pissed is at least, probably more fun than futsal. So there's more of a reason to do that.
Do you have any retorts?
I don't think I can win you over on this one.
How long have you been doing futsal? Is this new?
Semi-new. We just played one season. Yesterday was the semi-final.
Yeah.
And
how's your team going?
We lost the semi-final. So not great.
So you're out.
Yeah.
Bummer.
I couldn't have played next week anyway, though. So yeah.
True. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise because they've lost their best player.
Exactly.
The guy that commits so hard he ends up with a concussion and memory loss and a broken foot.
It's actually crazy to me how little involved with everyone else's lives Lewis gets. I knew for ages that you were playing futsal every weekend. I'd ask you about it occasionally. Are you still playing futsal? And you're like, yeah. I usually know what Killen's up to. Lewis is just out here not giving a fuck about any of his employees.
Look, I'm vibing. Look, guys, I care deeply about you, but I don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry for not showing an interest in your futsal, Ruben.
Okay, I mean, I accept
Starting
that
now,
apology.
I want an update. Every time you play.
Well,
who won, what
games.
the score is, did you improve, did you have fun?
Okay, I appreciate that. How about thanks for coming into work today?
That's all right. No worries.
I appreciate it. Now thank us for paying you.
It's really cool.
Keelan's been up to something. I've been showing a keen interest in what Keelan's been up to this weekend because apparently you almost got bashed in Frankston for attempting the official greeting of the show. Okay, all right. Guys?
By the way, I feel like it's a great time to say this. As we speak, I'm downloading an air horn app because we've had about 3 lulls now in this episode and clearly no lull horn, or Lewis isn't using it. So I'm just going to remain on top of that. And
okay.
Is the opener ready to go now? Otherwise, I'm going to have to blow the horn.
All right, it's time for Frankston Tales.
There we go. Very good. Very swag. I like it. Okay. I got like 3 or 4 stories. I had a crazy weekend in Frankston. But first off, so I was with my friends Stephen and Sean. These were the guys I talked about last time I had Frankston Tales, and we're out causing mischief as usual. And we run into this guy who looks like Lewis if Lewis grew up in Frankston.
Yeah.
Like super tall, but a lad, like full esche. And we come walking up to him, and we're in a group of 3, so we're not scared of. It's like midnight.
Are you sure you just didn't meet Arthur on a night out? Lewis's brother?
That's probably my brother. Yeah.
We're not scared of him because it's a group of 3, and we walk up to him. And as we're walking up to him, I go, "Hello," and he goes, "What, cunt?" And then fucking almost hits me. But because I have Matrix-like reflexes, I dodged him. Ended up being a cool guy. His name's Travis, and he went to get kebabs with us.
So you went from almost getting bashed to having a bodyguard for the night.
And he was just wandering the streets, like suburban Frankston streets, and we go, "What are you up to?" And he's like, "Oh, just finding shit to steal."
What a king.
That's friendship in Frankston. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I like that.
And then so he left. A couple hours later, Sean and I are hungry again. So we say, let's go get more kebabs. And we get our kebabs. And then I say, I'm feeling quite mischievous. Let's go into Frankston and cause some trouble. So we did. And
This is
before
like
you go on.
so Frankston.
Before you go on, there's a lot to unpack here. The first thing I want to bring up is, what do you mean you wanted more kebabs? like
Yeah, who the fuck? I didn't even notice that. Who has 2 kebabs in one night?
So you already had a kebab earlier in the night, and you were like, 2 hours later, I want more.
Yeah.
That's that's the only food you have one of, and then you go, I'm done for at least a 24-hour period.
Kebabs on a night out are usually like a 70% completion rate. Like, not everyone will have the entire kebab too.
That's heaps.
So what we were doing is we were watching Garfield. And after Garfield, it was so much fun. We were very hungry again. So we got our second kebabs. And this time
you were inspired by Garfield.
You saw a fat cat and you're like, I want to be like that and also get up to a little mischief. You guys are pretty crazy. Like, you start telling these stories like, man, had a pretty loose night in Frankston. It's like, what are we up to? Eating kebabs and watching a cat eat lasagna. Great.
Yeah. Sounds pretty cool. But we walk into Frankston and no joke, cops filled the streets. There was like 10 police cars, undercover cops, everything. People were on the ground arrested because we just walked into what had just been a massive brawl.
Was it just like a battle royale, or was it just everyone versus your mate?
It started because some guy was talking shit about someone else.
Travis probably went hello to someone else because it catches on. It's pretty contagious.
I'll show you the video. But there's just this massive fight of like 20 people at the front of Hoyt's.
Whoa.
Oh, look at these security guards trying their best. Give them a raise. My favorite part about this is you watch them give up right now. They're like, well, that's it. Let him go.
Out the front of Hoyt's, they don't even serve alcohol there. That's just like a bunch of kids high on choc tops and just with a sugar rush and they've just seen Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious 9, and they just want to get at it. That's crazy.
Upstairs, we were talking. Upstairs, they have like a full cocktail bar, so I think people were getting a bit loose up there.
I see.
But Sean had his HSP when we rocked up, and he handed it over to someone else to finish. And so for the whole night, we were going up to people and telling them a fight started over this HSP, and people believed us. Pretty good.
You're next. Absolutely. You and your group of friends are going to be in the middle of one of those things very soon.
Yeah. And it was a pretty big night. We almost watched a couple fights happen. I stole a BMX from a kid. It was real fun all night long.
You stole a BMX?
Yeah, just out the front of someone's house was like their kid's BMX. And I said, boys, what do you reckon? Free transport?
You're a child's BMX bike. Yeah. Come on, it was probably his Christmas present.
Don't leave it out the front. This is Frankston. Come on.
You're teaching him a lesson.
That is true.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an appropriate time to bring up one of the tweets that Keelan did during the week. Oh, man, you tweet so much. I don't put on an act for the Luke and Lewis podcast. I'm just a massive scumbag. And that was not even to do with this stealing a child's bike. That was actually to do with the stuff you were talking about last week on the show. So, yeah.
It's not fantasy. While we're on the topic of Keelan's tweets, a favourite of mine over the last few weeks, I want to finish in Mole Man. The Simpsons character.
Yeah, I tweeted that. Yeah.
You're lucky that I find this amusing, because anywhere else, one of your tweets would just get you fired and probably blacklisted from an entire industry.
Yeah, I know. I think about that a lot. I think about like when I apply for like Big Brother and stuff, they're going to see these tweets and just ban me from any future career opportunities in this industry.
It'll say it in your bio. Keelan Brown, YouTube editor, wants to finish in Mole Man.
I also tweeted I wanted to fuck Nemo, and that one was pretty controversial.
Yeah, because Nemo's a baby
Nemo's a child. Nemo is a child.
He literally was in primary school in the first scene.
I didn't think of it like that. I thought of it was just...
What did you think of it like?
It was a fish, and that's funny. Who would want to fuck a fish?
You should have said Marlin, you savage. God. The whole movie was about a dad looking for his son, and you're like, I want to fuck him.
I'm going to need you. I'm doing our first ever disciplinary action. I'm going to need you to issue a public apology about that Nemo tweet and retract your statement.
Yep. And you're not allowed to follow it up with another tweet that says finding cum in Nemo. No, I said you're not allowed to do that. That's
good.
I just want to make it. I'm just trying to clarify that we don't want to see that on Twitter during the week or now, because Keelan's looked down at his phone and I think is tweeting finding cum in Nemo.
I've said I apologize. I don't want to fuck Nemo.
Okay, great.
Is that a good enough apology?
Yeah, but you could back it up with "but Marlon though?" ?
Yeah, no, the eyes emoji. Okay, I need to plug my laptop charger in. Luke, how fucking good is underwear?
Oh, dude, so good. And I was thinking about my favorite underwear, and I was like trying to think, and then immediately I didn't have to think anymore because I realized I was wearing Nobby underwear, who sponsor the podcast. Nobby.com.au. Join the Undie Club today. We're all a part of it. It's great to be back in the Undie Club. My nuts feel good. You know
they're so good.
You know what? We always say how good our nuts feel in them, but we never really give any respect to how well they did the ass.
Man, my taint is warm. You know? Like, that's something that goes very underappreciated. Everyone's always worried about, how will my pussy feel in underwear? How will my nuts feel? How about the little bit, between your privates and your asshole, the taint?
Yeah.
Very comfortable situation happening around there.
Yeah, and you don't want to have bleak cheeks as well. So we've got peak cheeks in these underwear.
Guys, treat your taint. Nobby.com.au. Use code SOUNDOFF. You get $5 off and free shipping your first order. They're really warm. It is so freezing here in Melbourne. I'm wearing tights underneath my jeans to keep my legs warm. And my whole knobby covered area is actually a little bit too warm. That's how warm they are.
What do you mean you're wearing tights? Are you wearing like skins?
Yeah. You know those running tights that I got for the race from Nike? I'm wearing them under my jeans because I keep getting really cold legs. It's not really working.
You've got a lot of leg to pump blood around, I guess.
I think that's the issue. You know what I was Googling last night? I was trying to Google like warm pants. I don't know. Do they make warm pants that are not trackies? There isn't really an in-between. It's either like you wear jeans or you look like a piece of shit.
Pants.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. What do they wear in Peaky Blinders? They look warm. But they're not
pants,
jeans. Yeah, but they look warm. What are they?
But back in the day, they wore under, the kind of what you're doing now. They wore long john underwear because it's so cold in the Britain or whatever it was. Is that where it's shot? I've never watched Peaky Blinders, to be honest.
Namibia.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought it was shot in the UK. Guys, never seen an episode. Heard it's great. Enjoy the hats. Enjoy the hats.
Yeah, that show is great, but man, it's a real plague on men's fashion in Melbourne.
But you know it isn't a plague, guys. Nobby underwear. All right, nobby.com.au. Thank you for sponsoring the podcast, Nobby. We love that here. And so cool to meet a bunch of people at the shows, showing me their nobbies after the shows.
Yeah, no knobs, please, but Nobby, absolutely.
Great. So... yeah. All right.
I did a gig last night that was absolutely mental. Last night it was so cold and it was an outdoor gig and I got booked. Comedy, we talk about this a lot. Comedy is great and humbling all at the same time. One day you'll do a theater, one day it'll be like 9 degrees doing an outdoor gig that was pitched to you as a Wizard of Oz themed movie night. And I was told that I was supposed to write some jokes about the Wizard of Oz. So I racked my brain like for days trying to write at least a 6 so I could justify me turning up and not act like I just didn't put any effort in. I write these Wizard of Oz jokes. I get up, I get there. No one does any Wizard of Oz material at all. The MC who runs the night, great guy, but doesn't mention the Wizard of Oz in the slightest. It's not a Wizard of Oz themed bar at all. No one does it. So now I just have like these 6 out of 10 Wizard of Oz jokes that I feel like should be done somewhere, but I just didn't do them. Changed my whole set, ignored it.
I think now you need to, or we have a platform on a podcast. I feel like people now I'd like certainly like to hear them. Could you perform the Wizard of Oz jokes? If you want me to MC a win, like it's a Wizard of Oz comedy night, just to see how you would have gone. Do you know?
Yeah,
them?
okay. Yeah, I have 2.
Yeah, okay. So
they're really like think about this. I'm just trying to do just enough Wizard of Oz gear to justify me moving on immediately. So I'm thinking, what's the shortest kind of funny Wizard of Oz joke so I can ignore the theme and do my other gear?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thanks for coming out, Kellen and Ruben, to Melbourne's one and only 100% Wizard of Oz themed comedy night. All the comedians tonight are going to be doing their best Wizard of Oz jokes. They're going to start off their set in black and white, then move to color. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the first Wizard of Oz comic, but he's also quite tall, so maybe we should call him... the Tin Man.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Spears.
Boo.
Yeah,
Lewis.
Hey guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much. As you can see, I'm obviously a prime candidate to act in the reboot as a Munchkin.
Were you really going to say that?
Because I'm not small. Obviously the main. Okay, I'm losing them. Don't worry. The main villain of the Wizard of Oz is the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm from Frankston. I'm the sickest cunt of the East.
Get off stage.
Okay. Some people would So one of the characters is the Tin Man. I guess you could call me the Thin Man.
I can't believe you described that.
Yes. I've got one more. I want to kill myself.
That was good. I like the last one.
Yeah.
Very relatable.
So I got there, right? And I had those jokes and I knew they were shit, but I was just doing it so that I wouldn't be the only comic that didn't do Wizard of Oz stuff. No one does any of it. Dan Rosario gets up. There's a group who are having their birthday. There's this girl that just immediately heckles him, starts ruining his set. And then she tells everyone it's her birthday. And then one guy in the crowd just offers him Coke. And Dan does a line in front of everyone and then gets off stage. Doesn't do a joke. Just does that and then goes, oh, now I'm on Coke. Bye. What a legend. Right? So that was what I had to follow.
That is Melbourne comedy for you. Jeez, I feel like I'm missing out.
It is very Melbourne comedy, isn't it? And then I get on stage after about 5 more acts, all of them who are just heckled mercilessly by this woman. And so by the time it comes around to me, I'm like, well, this woman is the Wicked Witch of the West of this gig. So I make it my mission to just ruin her night. And I get about 15 seconds into my hello, she heckles me, and I just spend 3 minutes trying my best to ruin her birthday. And I nailed it. So that clip will be up soon. And
yeah, great.
I'm not ashamed. When I was newer and you had a heckler, it like ruins your whole night, and people travel out to do their 5 minutes or 7 minutes of stuff, ruins your whole set, destroys your confidence in your bit. And yeah, like when you're more experienced, you see those people doing it to the newer acts, and you just remember all of the times that your set was ruined because you didn't have the skills to overcome that. I ended up on top. I came out okay. She was wearing like overalls, like a one-piece overall, and I'm like, what are you wearing? And she goes, I'm dressed like an astronaut. I said, bitch, I would love to shoot you into space. Where is Elon Musk? And then it was her birthday. I'm like, how old are you? She goes, I'm turning 31. I said, well, enjoy it, because this is the last year you'll ever be hot enough to be this annoying and get away with it. Right now it's like, stop. But once those crow's feet come in, it'll be, shut up, bitch.
Yeah, dude. Your forehead's going to look like a fucking credit card swipe machine if you don't shut the fuck up and moisturize now. Bad. But you know what I found funny? I was talking about this. We did like one of my Patreon meetups in Sydney, and I was talking about it with a few people in my Discord. They were like, man, it was so funny sitting in the crowd and like watching the people who come to your shows like from TikTok, and they were just like, man, they don't realize you can like be an asshole and like turn it on. So because they come to my shows thinking like, oh, he won't pick on me. Like I won't be the one in the clip.
Yeah.
Like they think that like I don't know who they think the people in the clips are, but it's always the people who come from my TikTok. Like it's a cycle. Like I attract people from TikTok, then they're so dumb that they end up becoming the next people who help me attract more people.
Well, everyone thinks they're smarter than they actually are.
People
like,
come to
science.
the show going, I'm not going to be the idiot.
Yeah.
Come to the show. I like just turn it on. It wasn't that bad. There was this one girl. I was like, oh, who came from the first speech? She's like, Bathurst. And I just go, oh yeah, that place sucks. I wasn't even really trying to have a go at it. It's just, that's just a fact, right? I thought people from Bathurst knew. Like when we went there, most of the crowd was like, oh yeah, it sucks.
Awful place.
And then she goes, oh, that's pretty rude. And I was like, oh, it's just, and I just explained to her in like the most logical way of like, if your town is built off motorsport, it's not a good place, and here's why. And I just like go on this kind of big rant, and then at the end, she just goes, yeah, no, look, you got a point. And then afterwards, she goes, hey, I'm the one from Bathurst. And I was like, okay. And I was like, and I just go, commiserations that you have to go back. Like she thought I was going to apologize.
I love people like that are like, no, you apologize to me. It's like you bought a ticket to a comedy show, you know? So like it's in the name that I am not serious, except for when it comes to trashing Bathurst.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, oh, yeah, I've been there before. She goes, have you even been there? I was like, yeah, it's terrible.
Yes.
It's just
have
funny
you ever left Bathurst? That is also funny when like people are like, oh, how could you say this? It's like, well, because we've seen more of the country than most people in the country. So we have a bit of a scale and you're at the bottom.
Yeah, but that gold panning bloke at that caravan park, that was pretty cool.
That was cool. Yeah, big statue of a gold panner. That was sick.
Yeah.
Good on him. He's having a crack.
But other than that, I've been a fucking sweetheart to people. Really lovely, charming guy.
Doesn't sound like it at all. you had 3 stories, and one of them was about rooting to the sound of a crackhead moaning.
Oh, that's like personal, man. Don't bring that into this discussion. All right, that has nothing to do with me being an arsehole. That's just me staying in a bad Airbnb.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Couple of technical issues there because Zoom rocks and it's awesome. Luke is going to be back next week. So we will have one more Zoom episode. And unless the worst happens and borders close, Luke is going to be back in studio. And we have a lot of things planned for the return of it. And you know what I'm annoyed about with these Zoom episodes? It ruined You May Be Fooled. Me and Keelan had the best You May Be Fooled climax ready, and then it only works if we're in person.
I also actually had a cheeky prank lined up.
Okay.
Well, but it also involves me to be in studio.
Okay, how about this? All right. I'm proposing this before we wrap up the episode. You July be fooled.
No, it doesn't rhyme. We need to think of a new name. I really don't like that at all. Although May didn't rhyme.
Well,
yeah, but May.
Do you understand why it was You May Be Fooled?
Yeah, because it was in the month of May.
Yeah. Okay, good. Just clarifying.
Yeah,
that.
but it doesn't fit. It should be something like the reason why people don't drink in July is because it rhymes. That's the only reason why people do it. Dry July. It needs
July lies.
That's not bad.
It's not great.
Because this was Zoom June, wasn't it?
That's the end of the episode, guys.
Good. I was about to say,
much.
I don't want to keep going after that. That's the end.
Took a really big nosedive there. Thanks, Keelan. We'll talk to you on Thursday. Bye.
That was the shortest episode we've ever done.
That's his fault.